Hi, I'm Joe Finsternis, and tonight I'll be talking to you about a movie called Alyce Kills. So, this movie follows a young woman named Alyce, obviously, who in the movie is played by a flea market version of Danielle Harris. One night, she and her best friend get stoned and they go up to the rooftop of the apartment building they're living in, and Alyce ends up accidentally knocking her friend off of the roof, and it drives her insane and ends up leading to a killing spree. So it's a pretty basic plot, and everything that leads up to her eventually knocking her friend off the roof and everything that leads up to the eventual killing is really, really slow and boring. I mean, 30 minutes or so go by before she pushes her friend off of the roof, and nothing really interesting happens. I mean, there's a point where her friend finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her, and she has a little conversation with Alyce about killing him, and then she buys some drugs and they go up on the roof. That's about all that happens within a 30-minute time span. And then, nothing particularly interesting happens before Alyce snaps and starts killing people. I mean, she buys some drugs off of a dealer. She doesn't have the money to pay for him, so she has to do other stuff for him. She ends up sleeping in and being late for work and gets fired from her job. It's just a bunch of tedious bullshit filler for the most part, and it probably would have worked better if this was a 30-minute short film. And the dialogue in the movie is just terrible. Just from the get-go, the first spoken line from Alyce, she's walking past this guy holding a baseball bat, and she mutters under her breath, "Nice phallic symbol." Yeah, that's an actual line in the movie. And when she finally gets to taking her first victim, she is the worst not the worst really, but the dumbest killer on the planet. I mean, she does a good job of killing him, but when it comes to disposing of the dead body, she stabs him in her own apartment and makes a mess, and then she starts cutting him into pieces with a meat cleaver, and then using a carving knife to cut him into smaller pieces, which makes a bigger mess, obviously. And then she starts throwing the pieces into the garbage disposal, including the bones. Now, I'm no expert on getting rid of dead bodies, but honestly, what grown adult would think it's a good idea to throw bones in a garbage disposal and think that they're just going to magically disappear? Yeah, pretty dumb movie for the most part. There were a couple of good things that I can say about it. I mean, even though the pacing was pretty off for the most part, there were a couple of moments that I liked where basically something would be happening and it would flash forward to something that happens a few minutes later, and then it would go back to the present and then back to a few minutes later, and it would keep doing that back and forth for a couple of minutes, and I thought that was a pretty cool way of showing Alyce's deterioration. Plus, the special effects were really good. I mean, after the friend gets knocked off the roof, you see her face a few minutes later, and it looks pretty gruesome. Also, when Alyce is carving that dead body during the final act, as dumb as her disposal methods may be, it actually does look like she's carving up a dead body. Not that I would know about that sort of thing from experience, but yeah, other than those two small positives, this was a pretty weak movie. It was badly scripted, badly paced, the characters were underdeveloped, just overall it was poorly done, and I would not recommend it to anyone. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about Alyce Kills. I hope you all have a good one.